I'm Paul McGillick, and this is where I live, 45 kilometres north of Sydney, surrounded by bush and dry rainforest. My house could just about be a candidate for inclusion in my new book, The New Sustainable Asian House, but not quite. But the principles, the architectural principles, are interesting, which could well make it a candidate for the book. The book has an interesting story, because originally it was to look at how residential architecture in Southeast Asia was responding to changing demographics, the global economy, new professions and so on. And then after some discussions we decided to let the idea evolve a little bit, and so the book now is about the new sustainable Asian house, or strictly speaking the new sustainable Southeast Asian house, because we cover 5 countries: Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia and the Philippines. And we look at how residential architecture is responding to certain sustainable issues. For example, environmental sustainability, but also looking at cultural and social sustainability. And I think what makes this book really interesting is that across the region you have a lot of similarities. Firstly, you've got the climate, the equatorial tropical climate, but then you also have a lot of cultural similarities. But at the same time, across the region, some fascinating differences as well. So these 27 houses have a lot in common, but a lot of variety as well. So we're looking at issues like how do these houses respond to the climate, so that instead of fighting the tropical climate, what we're seeing is houses now celebrating the climate and at the same time conserving energy. But there's some other interesting things as well. For example, what about cultural sustainability and social sustainability? For example, the extended family. The extended family is still very important in this part of the world, but things are changing, demographics are changing. A younger generation now values the extended family, the community, but they also want a lot more privacy and a lot more independence. So how do you design for the extended family in 2012, 2013. That's one example, and there are many others, such as the new professions, a young IT, wealth management. This is a new type of clientele. They're interested in an urban way of life. They like all the urban amenity. What kind of houses are architects designing for them? So I hope you enjoy the book. I think it's a really interesting book. It's an incredibly interesting book visually, and I think culturally it's got a lot to say about where the home is moving in Southeast Asia.